I was 30 betrayed by my best friend, family, and wife, and now I'm a millionaire. Hey Reddit. Never thought I'd be sharing my life story here, but I need to get this off my chest. Here's how I went from the lowest point in my life to becoming a millionaire. About 5 years ago, I was living a pretty average life. I had a decent job, a modest house, and a wife, Jessica, who I thought was my soulmate. I also had a best friend, Mark, who I'd known since childhood, and a supportive family, or so I thought. One day, I found out Jessica was cheating on me. I came home early from work, hoping to surprise her with dinner, only to find her in bed with Mark. The shock and betrayal hit me like a ton of bricks. I felt like my entire world was crashing down around me. Jessica and Mark tried to justify it, saying they didn't mean for it to happen, but their excuses only made it worse. Feeling utterly devastated, I turned to my family for support. To my surprise, they took Jessica's side. They said I was too focused on my job and had neglected her, so it was partially my fault. I couldn't believe it. The people I thought would always have my back were siding with the very person who had betrayed me. I was in a dark place. I lost my wife, my best friend, and my family's support all in one go. I felt like I had no one left. I ended up quitting my job because I couldn't focus, and I didn't know what to do next. I spent a few months wallowing in self-pity, feeling like a complete failure. One day, I stumbled across an old notebook from my college days. It was full of business ideas I had jotted down over the years. Reading through them, I felt a spark of inspiration. I decided to turn my pain into motivation. I used what little savings I had left to start working on one of those ideas, a tech startup focused on creating software for small businesses. The first year was brutal. I was working 16-hour days, barely sleeping, and living off instant noodles. I faced countless rejections from investors and struggled to get the business off the ground. But I kept pushing. I refused to let the betrayal define me. Slowly but surely, things started to turn around. I landed my first big client and then another. Word of mouth spread, and before I knew it, my business was gaining traction. I reinvested every penny I made back into the company, hiring talented people and expanding our product line. 3 years in, we hit our first million in revenue. It felt surreal. The business continued to grow, and last year we were acquired by a larger tech company for a multi-million-dollar deal. I went from rock bottom to being a millionaire, and it still feels like a dream. I've since moved to a new city and started a new chapter in my life. I've reconnected with some old friends who have been supportive, and I've made new ones along the way. I'm dating again, but I'm taking it slow, focusing on myself and my happiness first. But the journey to becoming a millionaire wasn't just about the money. It was about the transformation I underwent as a person. Let me take you through some of the key moments that shaped this journey. After the initial shock of the betrayal, I found solace in an unlikely place, a local community center. They had free therapy sessions, and I decided to give it a shot. My therapist, Dr. Harris, was a godsend. She helped me unpack years of bottled up emotions and made me realize that I had been neglecting my own needs for far too long. Through therapy, I learned the importance of self-care and self-worth. I started working out, eating healthier, and reading more. I also picked up meditation, which helped me find inner peace and clarity. These changes didn't happen overnight, but with time, I began to feel stronger and more confident. One of the most significant moments came when I attended a tech conference in San Francisco. I was still in the early stages of my startup, and I was looking for inspiration and connections. At the conference, I met Lisa, a successful entrepreneur who had built and sold several companies. She became my mentor and taught me invaluable lessons about business and life. Lisa introduced me to her network of investors, and with her guidance, I secured my first round of funding. She also taught me the importance of giving back, and I started volunteering at a local coding school for underprivileged kids. Helping others gave me a sense of purpose and fulfillment that I had never experienced before. As the business grew, I made sure to create a positive and inclusive company culture. I wanted my employees to feel valued and heard, something I had rarely felt in my previous job. We held regular team-building activities, offered flexible work hours, and provided opportunities for professional growth. This approach paid off, as my team was highly motivated and dedicated to our mission. One of the most rewarding aspects of my journey was seeing the impact our software had on small businesses. We received countless emails and testimonials from entrepreneurs who thanked us for helping them streamline their operations and grow their businesses. Knowing that I was making a difference in people's lives was incredibly fulfilling. During this time, I also reconnected with my old friend, Sarah. We had lost touch over the years, but she reached out to me after hearing about my startup success. Sarah had been through her own share of struggles, including a tough divorce and starting her own business. We bonded over our shared experiences and became close friends again. Sarah was instrumental in helping me navigate the complexities of scaling a business. She had a keen eye for detail and a knack for solving problems. Together, we tackled challenges and celebrated successes. Our friendship grew stronger, and she became a trusted confidant and advisor. As for Jessica and Mark, I heard through the grapevine that their relationship fell apart not long after our fallout. Mark moved to another city and Jessica tried to rekindle our friendship, but I was done with that chapter of my life. I had moved on, and I wasn't interested in reopening old wounds. My family, on the other hand, was a different story. After hearing about my success, they reached out to me, expressing regret and asking for forgiveness. It was a difficult decision, but I decided to keep my distance. I had built a new life and surrounded myself with people who genuinely cared about me. Some wounds were too deep to heal completely. Looking back, the betrayal was the hardest thing I've ever faced, but it also pushed me to become the person I am today. I'm stronger, more resilient, and I've achieved more than I ever thought possible. Sometimes the worst experiences can lead to the most incredible transformations. Thanks for listening, Reddit. If anyone is going through something similar, know that there is hope. Keep pushing forward, and you might just find that the darkest moments can lead to the brightest futures.